Today, we have the pleasure of introducing Carol Cuthbert, who is conducting groundbreaking research into the integration of artificial intelligence within the legal sector. Her work focuses on how AI can enhance legal practice management, streamline administrative tasks, and support legal professionals in making more informed decisions.
I consult in the legal industry, and all the law firms are really leveraging off AI, and anything that can be administratively done better by AI, then that saves on the billable hour and things are done more efficiently. I talk about generative AI, which means the sort of creation of new. In legal specifically, we've been doing various forms for a very long time. We've got automatic alerts, things have been happening all along, but now we're talking about the generation of new. And it's very exciting. We've been using it to have a lot of assumptions in terms of what you do for planning within practice management areas. And then we use visuals, heat maps to see the colors of if you're getting closer or further away, red and green. And we get the AI to then go in iterations to generate itself the assumptions that go the closest to your profit and loss in terms of your planning, your budgeting versus actual. So that's a very good use case. And that's meant that for the CEOs and CEOs, they can now have the AI go through 1 million iterations in seconds and try and work out, I should open an office in Brazil, I should move into this practice management area. It becomes very practical. So you have this capability along with a human, and also we use multiple AI. So it's agentic. The AIs then compete off each other and give different approaches. And often it's not just AI, we also have APIs integrating to the actual application. And that's the way it works. But the main overriding thing is governance, and in terms of data safety, it can't go out of the firm, and also people can't have their private information shared. So there's a lot of constraint around it. You have to work within those parameters, but it absolutely generates a whole world of options that a human couldn't do in that space of time. Well, many of the law firms have almost enough resources to be like little laboratories in terms of their own software, and a lot of them base it on GPT-4, but there are others, and in legal there are main applications. There are 3 or 4 main products, and within those worlds, they build their own models, and it's almost a race. They're competing against each other to keep out ahead. And it is very proprietary because we have very specific SARs and solicitors accounts rules and things specific to our industry. So it's anybody that uses the billable hours. So it's a bit wider in terms of service industry. The products apply not only to law, but to accounting, any sort of practice management area. The use cases are very broad, and most of them based on GPT-4. They all use Copilot, but most of them are proprietary. So they've built their own models above those models. And governance of data, and data is private and protected. So a lot of companies are now bringing in that whole aspect of the project as a Trojan horse. So they bring in like a more sort of sexy thing. We're going to automate this and this and this. But actually what they're doing is they're bringing in the governance procedures. They're bringing in the quality of data, looking at all of that, because obviously your AI is only as good as your data. And often the data is actually, besides the fact that it's unstructured, obviously sometimes not very clean. So there's very boring, unsexy aspects to AI projects, and they bring the two in together to lessen the pain of all this data governance and data quality. But most people have these vast lakes of data. It's unstructured. They can't make sense of it. And so a lot of the project is basic transformation type, boring activity, but that means the value that you get out of it is heightened. Often we have, like on the law firms, we might have like 200 people on a transformation project, and a lot of that is around basic, boring data governance, data quality, getting everything in place so that then when we have the sexy, automated, maybe multiple models doing something, the answers are of value. I tell students that they're going to be in the working world tomorrow, and these tools are being used. Even if they're not 100% accurate yet, they'll get there. And also, it's the student in conjunction with the tools. So we use them, we leverage them. If you can't say it's the GPT, then it's the prompting that's not accurate. It's down to the student. Then you prompt better. And even if it's a deficiency of one model, then you have multiple models that take each other. And you have APIs to maybe a maths application if people say that's a weakness because it can do basic mathematics, but sometimes so there are ways of getting around everything, and you have to be familiar with it. You have to embrace it. It's like in terms of the wind blowing. The wind is blowing in a different direction, so you can't. It's just something you can't ignore. You've got to be part of, and you've got to leverage it. But you've got to realize it doesn't replace a human brain. It's just in conjunction. It's a tool like long ago, Excel and Word. Nobody would be arguing that we shouldn't use those. So I think we need to keep ahead, and we need to leverage off these tools as much as possible. AI is literally just vectors and the distance between words we ascribe to numbers or components of words, depending on the model. And it's looking for the distance between them, so the relationship. So with anything, it is all about vectors. It's about maths. It's nothing fancy. You as the human put something over it. Yes, we are getting to the world where we're generating a lot of new knowledge, and it's difficult to figure out. That's why we're using visualization of the decision-making trees, because in court cases, people backstep and say, well, AI got to this answer. How did they get to that? We have to be mindful and realize how the decisions are being made. But at the end of the day, it is just based on vectors. It's nothing fancy. It's a tool. You have to use it. If it's not great, it will get better throughout the year. So you can't get left behind. It's simple. You can just log into GPT-4. You can start prompting. There's nothing fancy about it. So I just think that it's something that we should all embrace. We use it as a tool. It doesn't override what we think. But if you can have something that can do like 2/3 of your repetitive work, why would you not use that?